Yeah, I can
Are you
see.
able to see?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So so here we will be having two servers. One is R3 server, which is ECC server, and one is TM server, which is your transportation management server. So basically, when we want to transfer the data from one ECC server to a TM server, so there is in backend there some setting is required, which is nothing but your RFC setting. Okay, remote function call, and for master data it is using the SIF mechanism, and for transaction data it is using the PI mechanism. But whatever it is, there should be logically the two systems should be connected. So that logically how they are connecting, I'll tell you now. Right now I am into the TM system. P73 500 client is nothing but your T73 TM system. Okay, so here I'll go to SPRO. So first is we have to create the logical systems. So what are these logical systems? Is logical system is nothing but it is a naming convention to represent the system. Okay, logical system is nothing but it is a naming convention to represent the system. So each and every system in the SAP will be having a logical system which is defined by your basis guys. So how to define that logical system is, normally this is not our activity, but we should know how this will be happening, because backend everything is done only through the logical systems. Okay, so this is a logical system and we have to define the logical systems as first three characters is the client name of the client, like for example P73, and the next four characters is CLNT. So whatever the client, you have to just say the next four characters as CLNT. Okay, then the last three characters represents the client number. So in this case, if you see, P73 is your client name, 500 is your client number, and CLNT. So if you see, so this is the logical system. Okay.
Okay.
For TM, if you want to represent the TM, it is a logical system. In the same way, uh, next is assign the logical system to the client number. So what is the client number for ours? 500. Just go here and assign the logical system. And the role of the client is customizing, because we are doing the customizing here. Normally when we are doing a testing or quality, so that will be a testing system, quality system, or production system, where you cannot access all the configurations, right? Or you cannot, its system will not generate any TR. So that is because you might be saying it's a test system or production system. If you say it's a customizing demo education system or reference system, then you are able to do customizing. So normally in your real time also, in your office also, you at quality system or test system, you are only just having the authorization for display, right? You cannot go and make any changes in the configuration. Why? Because there the role will be set as either production or test.
This is only we are having only in 210, only customizing plan.
Yeah, it's a customizing. So then this RFC call. So what is this RFC call is? It's directly we are connecting these two systems. One is ECC system and one is a TM system. So this will be connected from the above connections. You just come here. This is your P73. Okay. So it is connected to your R3. Remote login is okay. You can just.
This will be defined by sorry, basis, right?
Yeah, this is also run by basis. So here we will be having one RFC user. Okay. So it is connected using the RFC user, and that using that RFC user the data will be sent, or the data will be in sync. It is not required for us to make any changes here, but it is just to advise us to know the settings. So like for example, if something is not if missing in between, so you can come here and see, okay, what is the problem? If data is not properly moving, you can come here and see.
What remaining connections? HTTP, internal TCP IP.
This one, huh?
No.
No, this is for some other thing. It is not for us. It is only for IDOC connections or something. It's not for us. For TM and EWM, it is only done using this GTS also.
Okay.
So remaining all we are not going to do. Okay, so this is something, some other purpose. Okay, so assign RFC destination to various application cases. So here, as I said yesterday, one TM server can be assigned to multiple RT feeder systems. For example, you have a test system and quality system as one TM, but feeder systems you are having multiple. So in all the cases, you can connect multiple feeder systems to one TM system, one destination. So that is how you are doing here. See, if you see here, logical system and the RFC destination. So this is the destination you are connecting. So then from this server, if you want to send any data, it will come here. And from this server, if you want to send any data, this is through this destination system will come. So this is what we are going to connect, RFC destinations. So business group, if you have multiple feeder systems, right, as I said, so it should be linked to one business group. Always it should be linked to one business group. So that business group you are creating here. So through this business group only the data will be replicated, because the purpose of this business group is, let's say you have one customer in the R3 system, okay, and the same TM server is also connected to some GTS system, for example, and there also we have a customer called 1000, and R3 also we have a customer called 1000. So what will happen if the TM is receiving the data from GTS system and the TM is also receiving the data from R3 system? In the TM, when you're transferring the data, there will be two business partners getting created. I will tell you what are those. Normally when you transfer the data, there will be two customers, right? You're sending the customer master from R3 and you're sending the customer master from the GTS. So what will happen, there should be two customers created in the TM, one for the GTS and one for the R3. Do you agree?
Yes.
So what will happen if there is a two partners created? So for example, the GTS is useful for declarations and the R3 is useful as a feeder system. In the TM, when you are declaring something to the GTS from the TM system, what will happen? At the same 1000 what is sent from the R3, there will be different business partner created in the GTS. So it will be something problem. It should be sync in all the systems. So that's why, to make sure that there is no data redundancy, that means data duplication, so we will create a business group. This business group will make sure that there is no duplicate entries. So whatever the 1000 you created, it will be in sync, in common for all the feeder systems or all the TM systems.
This business group has any properties?
This is also logical system. It's just a logical system. Naming convention, and on this we are just mapping all the logical systems. So it will make sure that when it is coming from the different business feeder systems, if the same feeder system is assigned, then the data will not replicate again. It will just modify or change. Okay.
Okay.
So logical system to the queue type is, we have a queues. So what is the purpose of this queues is, normally when the data is coming from the feeder system to the TM system, it will be coming or updating into the TM system in form of a queue. Queue in the sense, so one by one it will form. Okay, so these are the queues you have to assign. These are all inbound queues and outbound queues. We will be having a TRFC and QRFC. QRFCs is queued RFCs. TRFCs is transported RFCs. So normally TRFC is used in olden days, like previously in other versions, but now it is a QRFC. So for example, if TM server is down or TM server is not able to receive a data, so what will happen? The data which is sent from the feeder system, maybe you sent a lot of data using a batch, but feeder system is not having the queue. What will happen? So when the feeder system is TM system is not able to receive the data, it will be failed at a RFC level. It will be failed at your ECC level. So again, you have to look back what are the objects failed and you have to resync. Instead of that one, QRFC is whatever the data you are sending, even the TM system is not able to receive, it will be stored in a queues in the TM system or in the plugin. Once a TM server is up again, then it will be sent from the queue to the TM system. So that is the main purpose of this queues.
Here outbound queues are not defined.
Now there is only one outbound queue. It's coming from your E6 client 800. So remaining all from 500 we have inbound to the R3 system.
EH6 is ECC system.
Yeah, ES6 is a EC system.
What is this?
EH73 client 5 is your TM system.
SAP indicator is set for that. What is that?
This is SAP system they are saying. The TM system can also be sent, the feeder system for the TM system can also be non-SAP system, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's why they're saying it's a system.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your QRFC communication. QRFC is configure the QRFCs. This is basically this setup is useful only in case if you have a EWM server, but for TM it is not required to set up. Okay. So this is the user parameter. For all the user parameters, you will be sending the data. Okay, you can either send in the logging mode or debugging mode.
What is this?
Both ways it's possible.
Global parameter.
Son?
What is it?
No. For all the logical systems, your users, these are all the users are eligible to transfer the data or receive the data. So this is what the user. It's your SAP user.
Okay.
So if the user is not available here, then what will happen? The particular user ID is not allowed to send the data. You will be having the error.
Okay. Some kind of authorization.
Yeah. Okay. So now we will just map the same thing in the another system also. I'll just add the system. One second. Okay, the same settings you have to do it here. So here the first setting what I have shown is SCC4. Just remember these transactions. If you want, you can just go through this SCC4. Okay, so this is the client. Your R3 client is EH6 client 800. Just click on this 800. Okay, so this is a master client, so that's why they have put is a T90 client 90. So this is a client assignment. Then RFC connections you have to do it from SM59. Okay, SM59 is okay. So this is your RFC destination. So from TM or from R3, if you are sending to TM, this through this RFC destination it is moving. It's a above connection. You can just say click here for connection test. Okay, so there are some errors that is which were logged long back. They logged it. I think 8/20 June 20. it's a password. Through password it will send. Okay, and you know that BD64 also, right?
We,
BLE distribution model. So these are just the transactions what I showed you in the TM system. So this is a distribution model. So there will be a distribution model for each and every master data transfer. So using that master data transfer, you are sending the data. It's for only master data. So remaining or it's through RFCs. So normally it is not required for us to know or to explore anything here because it's a basis transaction. You will not have any authorizations in the real time. Okay, it's only just to know if any problem is there, what is the transaction, why it is failed. Just you can come here and see and tell to create a ticket to the basis. That's all.
so this already this
Okay.
so this already this integration model is I mean to say all these settings is already done, right? So we'll be getting the same server access or we'll be getting different server.
Now for you, I think the same server access only you will give.
Okay.
So now the first topic in the master data is I have to show you how master data is transferred. Okay, one second. Just I will open one of the PPT.
Santosh, Santosh,
Yeah, yeah, it will.
can you tell the TM architecture how it will be integrated with EWM, ECC, and
That is through PI system and the same whatever I told you. That PI is nothing but a middleware, and for master data it is used between using the SIP transaction. So for whatever the mechanism, so the backend settings, whatever I showed you, the logical systems, your RFC destination, and the BD64, that should be mandatory. If it's a PI, then the PI middleware will be there. So the time when we are going to the ECC and TM's integration, the shipper scenario, I will show you that one. So right now we are only just transferring the master data, okay? So we don't have much thing to transfer here. So I'll just pull the
you
one
start
PPT is there for master.
you start sharing.
I just pulling the one PPT, one second. Hmm. Okay, so initially I showed you that there is a master data in which we have covered the organization structure, right? So organization structure from the LSP perspective. So now what are the other topics that what left in the master data is? So if you see this, you can understand this one, right? This already we discussed
Yes.
the scenarios in the TM, and this is a first process flow from the shipper's perspective. Okay, so when you create a sales order from the R3 or ECC server, the sales order will come and hit into your TM system as a OTR. OTR is nothing but it's a order based transportation requirement. So that OTR will be used as a planning run, and under the planning run a freight unit will be created. So what is this freight unit? As of now, just remember that freight unit is nothing but it is just a quantity and the material. Normally the freight unit, what is the definition of the freight unit as per the SAP TMS? It's the smallest chain of smallest unit of measure, smallest quantity of material which is common across the transportation chain. So from the source to destination, so it will not vary. Okay, so that is a freight unit, and from the freight unit will be taken into the planning, and then the freight order will be created. You can see here, if it's a planning run, the planning will be done based on the freight unit. The output will be your freight order. So freight order is the document which is useful for subcontracting. So carrier, just you go for carrier, and then freight settlement document will be created in the TM system. The settlement document is nothing but it's an invoice we are going to create. So this is nothing but your normal TM flow. It's a high level TM flow. So we are going to see all these flows, but now our main focus is on the master data. So what is the master data required to run or execute this flow? So first is, yesterday I told you, right, there are master data specific to TM and master data which are transferred from R3. If you see the basic mechanism which is running from the master data transfer is CIF, core interface. CFM1 and CFM2 are the transactions. CFM1 is for to generate the integration model. CFM2 is to activate the integration model. Okay, so the TM related master data are locations, transportation zones, products, and transportation lanes. So when you're transferring the master data from R3 to TM, so we are going to transfer the plant, customer, shipping point, vendor, and transportation zone. So when you're transferring the master data plant, customer, vendor, and shipping point, it is coming and hitting into the TM as a location. Okay, I told you, right? Now we are going to see that one, how it is coming and hitting here. We'll just create one data here. So let us take one example as a customer, maybe from SC16. Okay, so normally when you are doing this, always create on your own. Okay, just try to create on your own. I will pull something from the standard. You can create your customer normally using this 3000. Okay, so going further we are using only this for the transportation. If you want anything on your own, you can create on your own also. The sales organization, everything you can create on your own, but all the settings should be in place. Then there always we have to go with the CU. Okay, so CU302 is one customer, McKinsley. CU301, CU100. You can take any of these customers. So all these customers are created for normally for TM. Okay, so when the CU is created, it is for customer. I will take one customer CU3100. Okay, I will go to integration model, which is CFM1. Or before that, I will just try to modify something here. XG0. Okay, I will just put some changes. Okay, it is a plant, Chicago plant. This is it's and modify US plant for TM. Okay, it got saved. What you can do is just you can go to CFM1 to activate the integration model or to generate the integration model. Here you can put the model name. So what is the model name? Either you can put TM or you can put customer, material, whatever it is you know. What we can do is I'll just put customer underscore CIF. Okay. Logical system is the logical system how you are connecting. What is the connecting system? Now we are connecting to the TM client 500 and APO you can say is a customer. Okay, so here as I said, this integration model is useful for transferring the data from R3 to different servers, not only for TM. So as you know, the CPVS, APO, EWM, EM, so other modules will be using the same SIF. Okay, so that's why we have a lot of options. One is material transfer, plant transfer, customer material transfer, supply area transfer, contracts, stock transfer, sales order transfer. So different models are there. So which are useful for APO and all. So for our customer purpose, just click on this. Okay, so enter the customer master CU 3100. Okay, so it is not required to enter any account group or anything here. So just you save this. Okay, just save or execute this. Okay, it will ask for generate. Click on this and generate integration model. Okay, it shows the message as integration model was generated. So now you have to activate this integration model. For this, just go to CFM2. Okay, so this is our integration model. You can say execute. Okay, just see here, check for the customer. What is the customer we are assigning here? Just click on this. It will just look for the customer. What is the number? Okay, so this is a customer. What is the customer? Customer is C302. Okay, our customer only. Just come back and activate that integration model. Okay, then start. Okay, so already exists. Okay, just say QRFC. So this is what the QRFC is showing that it is in line. If you don't want the deleted one, so just you put this as deleted and then our volume will go there. Okay, so now if you come, automatically our transaction will go and hit to TM.
But you have deleted the queue, right? Our data will not.
The queue is not our queue, so there is other queue which is already there. So unless that queue move, ours will not be. So that means I deleted the existing queue. Now it has moved successfully. So this is a log. So you can see here this logs are coming. Now what we can do is we can come to the TM server. Okay, so the TM server will create the location. Go to transportation management. I am into the TM server. Okay, so when I'm saying TM, always just observe this P73500 is a client.
Oh.
The master data and transportation network. Click on the location. So here the location you just put CU300. Okay, just display. Okay, so CU300 the location is, as I said, when you are transferring the customer, it will come and hit here as a location. Okay, location, but and at the same time the location tab should be customer. You can see here which was created today. Okay, this is customer and 1010, and this is a business group. So logical system existence, and this is a business group. So based on this only, for example, if the same customer is also already there in some other server like LE or EWM or EJTS. So in order to make sure that there is no data redundancy, the business group will make sure that no duplicate entries are getting created. Okay. So this address, everything will be copied from the R3 system.
Geocoding also done through pin code only.
Which coding?
Geographical data.
Yeah, this is coming from based on this postal code, country, and all those things.
Okay.
Region.
Okay.
Okay, and I will come to here. What are these again? When we are discussing on the location. Just today, it's only just transfer of the data. So in the same way, you can go with the plant creation also. So I will just transfer some of the plants. Now I created this, right? So I will go to CFM1 again. I will transfer some plants. So in your practice, what you can do is just try to create something new,
A new
new
customer.
data and new customer and try to transfer. So I will transfer this. I will put the plant as 3100. So I'll just execute this. Okay, so generate this. Now go to CFM2. Okay, execute. So there's a plant. You check the details. What is the plant we are sending? Okay, so there's a plant. Okay, now you come here as a active. Okay, it got generated. Okay, transfer. Now what you can do is just come to the TMC system. So this is our TM system, and click on the location here. What is the plant number we have given? It's 3100, and click on 3100 and click on display. So this is a production plan. Okay, so this is what the plant is. The same way you can transfer, you can try to transfer the customer and material also. Material, I will show how to transfer the material. Okay, I will just go to CFM1. I'm just taking some of the materials which I know. Okay, you can try on your own. So what materials you want. I will just say PRO TB32 or 02.
Santosh? Santosh? Hello, Santosh? Santosh?
Hello?
Sundar sir, are you able to?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, it's clear. Okay, so here I just put the material which I know, and you can try on your own. So you can create some materials and you can try to transfer it. Okay. Number 26. Okay, what you can do, you can also put the plant. Product is not there, huh? I will just try to find out some plant materials. Okay, I will take some material which is MIFN16. I know, even in standard we have MIFN16, right? We'll just take this material. So there are three materials, just go over here. In these three different plants we have. So what I can do is, I'll just generate this. So let it be, I will generate the model. So at the time when we are transferring, activating, we will transfer only specific to one plant. It got generated. No? Go to CFM2.
So for this, the system backend is only RFC connections happening to, right?
Yeah, only RFC. This only RFC is the backend.
So CFIN means is it CFM1 and CFM2, or it includes the defining logical systems and all?
Yeah, basically whatever the mechanism, either CFM1 or it can be your PA server, there is a logical system connected. So RL the system does not know to which system it has to be sent. In the backend there will be always logical systems.
All this includes CFIN, defining logical
Yeah,
systems and doing integration and everything.
correct. So everything is done using the logical systems only. Always you remember that. So there will be a logical system in backend. Got disconnected.
So yesterday
Okay.
we did organizational model, right? That also includes on the master data only.
Yeah, that also part of master data, but we have not transferred anything, right? Yesterday it is only specifically we created in the TM.
Yes, LSPC.
Yeah, for LSP scenario. So now logical system, just I will show you the SPROs, this material. So this material is as a product to be created. So we can just see global or specific location. I will put global MIFN16 and we will just try. Okay, so this is what we transferred and the properties will be there. So basically the material, whatever the material we are transferring, and from the API it is called as a product here because there are some other properties with specific to TM, like for example your transportation mode or your classification. So there are some other things which you have to do it. So that's why it is called as a product in the TM. Okay. So same way you can try to transfer the vendor. So vendor, you know, right? XK01 transaction. Just you try create something from there and transfer here to this
Okay.
CFM. And if, for example, if there are any problem at the time you are transferring, so what will happen? You can come to, you want to know the error. So what you can do, logs can come to SLG1. So this is SLG1 will show you the logs. Like for example, if there is any problem while transferring. So what is the problem the system is able to find? So I will just put my name here, user ID, and we will see if any logs are there. If any error is there, you can just come here and see.
SLG1.
Okay, so these are the logs what are what we got here. So since the system is connected to GTS also, so don't worry about this. So where you see the core interface, just see if any error is there in this. So all those things are properly transferred, so without any problem. So in case if any data is not transferred, you can come here and see.
Okay.
Okay. So this is all about the master data, the shift transfer. Now what we have to do is, you know that one, right? When the location is mainly important thing here at the time when you are transferring. We'll show you again here the location.
Oh, yes, yes.
You have seen, right? So when you transfer the customer CU30 something, it shows it was created as a 1010. So when you transfer the vendor, it will create as a 1011. Okay, 1011 will be there.
What is
When you transfer the production, it will come as 1010.
what is the T code for this?
Okay, T code is a big T code. I will show you the path. I don't remember this. It's normally from the easy access TM. Okay, transportation network location LOC. Maybe you can just see here TMS LOC3.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a location transaction code. Normally you try to transfer something from your R3 system, and here the important thing is in the locations, only the location type plays a major role.
Oh, yes.
So these are all I will show you later, and specific data also I will show you. Okay, so for today this you try to practice this if for the customer, material, vendor, and the plant. So tomorrow I will show you the location details. So what data we have to fill in when you are creating a location manually in the system.
Okay.
So tomorrow onward, share the TM specific data.
Okay.
Okay. Just ask Krishna about the server access and prepare and practice this.
Santosh,
Okay.
is it
Yeah, tell
possible
me.
to push around 7:30?
There's a problem I told you, right? There is a power cut from 6:45 to 1:45. So it will come by force 7:45 or quarter so 10 to 8 like this. Now if you are having any work, no, then we'll make it to some just 45 minutes or half an hour. And Saturday and Sunday we can plan for more time.
Mm.
You have any work, urgent work is there for you?
No, no, no. Daily 1 hour is fine. So I'm thinking 7:30 to 8:30 or 7:45 to 8:45.
Yeah, half an hour, 8:45 till 8:45 I can restrict myself, but not from 7:45. That's a problem. So power problem will be there. Here internet I don't have backup, so I have to depend on the power only. So Saturday and Sunday we can plan. We can take 2 hour sessions.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I will try to cover. So you have any timeline? So within this time you have to cover.
Yeah, we are. I'm thinking to close it by next month 20th, like that.
Okay, I will try to make it. Yeah, no problem. So Saturday and Sunday. See, once you are done thorough with this master data and all, so the transactions and all very simple. I will try to close it.
We can
Okay.
take 2 hours, 3 hours also, no issue.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I will do it.
Okay. Chalo, bye.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we get these PPTs?
I will share. I will share the PPTs.
Oh, fine.
Okay. Put my mail ID here in the chat. I'll share them.
Sorry?
Can you put your mail ID here in the chat? I'll share via Drive.
Yeah, yeah, sure. 1 second. But I shared my mail ID, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'll share it by sometime in the afternoon. I will share.
Fine. Chalo, bye bye.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.